Very good at forgetting. So tonight we are going to have a virtual open house about our collaboration, our partnership with Minnesota State Mankato. Our two programs have been working together for several years now, but starting last fall, we made the official graduation with our first cohorts from our FlexPace program into their MavBiz Online. So I'm going to start a little bit talking about our program, the FlexPace program on Riverland side, and then I'll turn it over to Dr. Kathy Ritchie, and she's going to go through her side of it. So I should have introduced myself first. I'm Dr. Deb McManaman, and I am a business faculty at Riverland Community College. I teach quite a few of the FlexPace program classes, so if you sign up for the cohort, you'll likely have me as an instructor for some of your classes. And then I'm going to turn it over to Heather quickly. She's our other business faculty member.
Yes, Heather Earle, and I've been in the business department at Riverland for a couple of years now, and prior to that in supervisory management and business technology. So starting teaching FlexPace. I would be a summer instructor normally in FlexPace, and Deb handles during the school year, and I teach the other business classes.
Great. And then we have Michaela, who's coming onto the program actually tomorrow, if she wants to introduce herself.
Yes, my name is Michaela Fisher. I previously worked in the College of Business helping students with their internships, but now I'm taking a new role as the program advisor recruiter for the BBA at MSU. And I start tomorrow, so I'm very excited.
And then Dr. Ritchie.
I'm Dr. Kathy Ritchie, and I'm very excited to have Michaela join us. And so she was kind enough to start a little early of her first day, actually, and join us tonight. So that's pretty important. Speaks volumes. So I have been working with Dr. Deb and others from Riverland for, I think we're coming on our 3rd anniversary here. And so we are, we've watched the programs from FlexPace to MavBiz Online kind of evolve over time. And, you know, we think that it's evolved to a really good, state, if you will, where we've collaborated really well. We actually got a grant a couple of years from the Min-State office. And, we worked with Heather and Dr. Deb and everybody to have sessions like this over the last couple of years and meet students as much as we can to understand what you're looking for in a working adult program. So, it's really important to kind of say that FlexPace is the first 60 credits towards your bachelor's degree, and MavBiz Online is the second 60 credits towards your bachelor's degree in business administration. So we worked really hard to make sure that it's flexible and very open, as we all try to be as well. So, we will make sure that we start out with Dr. Deb talking even more about FlexPace. I think you wanted to say a few more things, maybe, and I'll just share a few things as well.
Perfect. So I'm just going to pull up just a really brief presentation that I have about the FlexPace program, just so that people that aren't here can also view it at some point. So just a little bit of an overview about our program. The FlexPace program got started actually officially in 2016, but prior to that, it was an idea that came from a collaboration in a lot of different areas. And the first one was that learners were coming to us and they were telling us, I'll just put these all on here quick. Whoops, too fast. Learners were coming to us that were working adults and saying, this is just not workable for my life to take 5 classes at a time and try to work a full-time job. And we had people from the business world coming to us saying, we really have all these great employees in our organization, but they can't be promoted because they don't have the academic credentials that they need. And then we were also hearing, just in general in the business world, that there were so many people that were stopped from getting better paying jobs because they didn't have an academic credential. So we were thinking about that. How could we make what we're doing work better for working adults? And I know that probably all of us, both Heather and I, and then Dr. Ritchie and Michaela have all been working and going to school at the same time. So we had that background of how challenging that had been for us. So what we decided to do was to create a fully online program that would be accelerated, but within that program would have some flexibility for working adults. And we based it off what's called a mastery approach. So you have to show that you know whatever concepts we're covering. And at Riverland, on our side, we do at 70%. So you have to get 70% on every activity, which is a C. We tried to set it up with the same rigor. We have the same activities in the classes. We have the same quizzes in our traditional, but there's some differences in it that I'll show you in just a minute. And we found that this has started to provide benefits to these learners. Many of them, the first year that we started it, had told us we wouldn't be in school at all if there wasn't a program like this that would be willing to be flexible for us as working adults. So when we look at mastery-based education, you can see on the left-hand column, this is a traditional, what we typically think of as classes. So you have a fixed semester, a fixed time. You might understand some concepts. If you don't, the class still moves on, whether you do or not. The delivery is very generalized. Everybody gets the same thing. The pace is fixed. You know, your due dates are fixed. If you don't get them in, you don't get any credit for that. And so some of our students succeed and some of them don't. When we look at a mastery-based program, the time within the course is variable. And we are asking that all concepts be mastered. So everybody that's leaving these courses has completed or mastered or is competent at every objective that's covered in the class. We try to deliver the content in a little more personalized format. So for example, if you come into a course in marketing and that's what you do for your job, you can demonstrate that you know that and move more quickly through the class than somebody that needs more time with those concepts. The pace is variable. So in all of our FlexPace courses, due dates are suggested. And if you don't meet the due date for whatever reason, we don't even ask you. You just get it in, you know, when you're able to get it in within the parameters of the course. We have to follow certain standards for financial aid and things like that. And so what we're finding is almost all of our students are succeeding in these classes because they're set up this way, which kind of brings up the point of, why aren't we doing this in all of our classes? That's a story for another day. So again, you can see in a typical class, I mean, you could get lots of A's and you could get F's and you could end up with a B in the class, and maybe you didn't understand half of those concepts. So let's say it was in an introductory marketing class. When you go to the next level, you maybe missed out on half of those concepts. So it's not setting you up to be very successful. In the mastery-based, we're not quite as concerned with time, but we are concerned with achievement. So everybody achieves, but the time they take to do it is based on how much time they have available, how much they know the concepts already. So there's a little bit more flexibility within that. So again, we're looking at competency. Do you know the material? If you don't understand the material, we remediate automatically in the class for you. We're very timely about getting feedback to you because the courses are very accelerated. We as instructors are very, that's part of what we want to do, is make sure that you get timely feedback so you continue to go on. Again, the pacing is flexible. You can, when you go into your courses, you know, if you want to take a unit level exam and see if you meet that level of competency and then not have to do the rest of the quizzes in that unit, you can do that. So it's up to you as a student how you want to complete those kinds of things. And then we recognize you for that progress. So in our mastery-based course design, all of our courses are set up in an online format in an accelerated 6-week schedule. I think we have one class that's 4 weeks, which is our Intro to Online Learning. And then we have one that's a little bit longer, Computer Concepts, because that has a little bit more activities in it, but most of them are 6 weeks. What's different also, instead of taking multiple classes at a time, you take one class at a time. So within each semester, we have 3 courses that you take one after the other. So you're not having to study multiple subject areas at the same time, and you can concentrate on just that one course in that topic. You can demonstrate that you know something already by taking unit level exams, or If you feel like you know something, the whole thing, like there's they're called a CLEP exam, so college level examination something, I always forget what the P is, placement maybe. You can take a test before you take the class, and if you pass that, you could achieve college credit for that class, and we give you a list of ones that are available for that. If you don't meet achievement, you don't achieve a 70% level, we'll put you through an alternate path, give you other material to review. We thought this would be a big thing, but I have found, this will be my 2020, this will be my 4th year, and I have not had anybody that's had to do alternate pathways. So everybody's been achieving without having to do it, but it's there for you if you do. And then, for example, at the beginning of our classes, everything is open to you to work at your own pace. The due dates are set out so that you can see, if I want to get through this course in 6 weeks, if I follow the schedule set by my instructor, I know I can do it. But if you had to miss one because you got sick or a child got sick or you got a big work project, those are not going to be set in stone. You still will be able to turn your projects in when you get them done. So on the Riverland side, we have set up, so normally you take 5 classes at a time for 2 years, so 8 semesters, and you are done with your degree. Taking 5 classes at a time as a working adult is almost impossible. Some people have done it, but it's really challenging. So what you're doing with us is you're taking 3 classes per semester. So it takes a little bit longer. It takes 2 extra semesters, but you have everything that you need and you're done, and the pace is manageable for people. If you do come into our program and you have some prior college credits, what we'll do is we'll look at those and review them, and then you have the option to either go quicker through the sequence because you don't have to take them all, or some people just stop out for that period of time when there's a class that they don't need to take. Our FlexPace graduates come into the MSU MavBiz Online program with everything they need to enter into that program. So you have all the credentials and requirements that you need to apply to and be accepted into that program. And your GPA, we know that you have to get at least a C to be able to pass these courses in the FlexPace format, so you're going to meet that standard too. And then one of the things that we've worked on with our partnership is that our FlexPace graduates have preferred status for getting into the FlexPace or the MavBiz Online program. If you want to learn a little bit more about our program, you can go to our FlexPace transfer pathway. It's called, it's just an associate in science transfer pathway degree, or you can email Heather or I, or our emails are at the beginning of the slide presentation, which will be available to you. We put you through a business certificate first, so you take all of your business classes, and then you start taking your general education courses and other requirements that you'll need to get accepted into the MavBiz Online program. One other thing, if you need to stop out for whatever reason, I've had some students that had a baby or a job change or moved away and they needed to take a break. You can do that, and you can come back into the program when you're ready, and we'll fit you back in where you left off. So there's a lot of flexibility in the program for working adults. I think everybody that has at least done some kind of a inquiry, so that we have your name already, everybody that was on this open house invitation. But if you wanted more information, you could put your name in on our step there. So before I turn it over to Dr. Kathy, Jenny, do you have any questions for me as on the Riverland side of it? Nope. Okay, I will stop sharing here, and then I'll turn it over to, oh, hi, Dan. Dan, do you have any questions for us?
No, I'm just kind of listening along here.
Okay, perfect. Well, you kind of got the gist of it from me before, so you have a little bit. You probably haven't heard the Dr. Ritchie's side of it. So I'm going to turn it over to her, and you're welcome to share your screen, Dr.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, you're muted, Dr. Kathy. You're muted. There you go.
Okay, so we are happy you're here, Jenny and Dan. Thank you. And let's see. I think I'm a participant and not sure that I can share. Can you see that?
No.
No. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Well, what was I thinking? Let me see if I can go to the list of
think-
participants and give you permission.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to make you the host. Now, can you do it?
Okay, let's try it.
There we go.
Now, yeah, okay. Perfect. Okay. So I want to make sure that again, we kind of reinforce without being too redundant by saying that we try to design the courses with a lot of the same look and feel and the same features and the same general functionality in D2L as a learning management system. So our programs are meant to be part of the Min-State system where we have this collaboration, and we want it to actually be where you transfer to Minnesota State Mankato and you see the same similarities so that there isn't as much of a transition as you might potentially imagine. Okay, okay. So overall, the program, it is a bachelor's of business administration degree completion program. So we call it the BBA program, or the actual program name is MapBiz Online. So we have FlexPace and we have MapBiz Online for the Bachelor of Business Administration degree. And that is a general business degree. So we're looking for transfer students that come from Riverland who have earned an Associate of Science in Business degree. And the equivalent of that obviously would be the same as any other what we call transfer pathways in the Min-State system. So these are preset business courses. So it's specially designed for people that are working full-time and cannot attend traditional classes. So potentially you may never come to the Mankato campus until commencement, at least. We hope you do come for graduation. But there isn't a requirement. All of the digital services and all the offerings that we offer from the university to all students are also available to the MapBiz Online students, but there is no requirement to ever come to campus. So, for example, the online orientation is just that, it's online. So we're looking for people that potentially want to advance their career, move into another position, change jobs, change fields, whatever works best. But more than anything, we want you to have accomplished your 4-year degree in doing that. So we're looking for, helping to develop strong communication and leadership skills. I personally have a management organization leadership background, and so I'm teaching a leadership course right now. I teach the strategic management capstone course, and I'm designing a new business professionals course that's based on communication skills and other general workplace skills and soft skills. So the learning outcomes in general of the program are things like having a broad upper division knowledge. And this is something, again, we want you to have that mastery from one course to the next, that you have mastered the content of the course you can bring forward to other courses. And so the range of disciplines are management, marketing, business communications, finance, probably a minimal amount of data analytics, business ethics, information technology, and business law. We're looking for students to be able to apply critical thinking skills and to be able to apply them to real world thinking and real world business problems. So we have a final course in the Mad Biz Online program that is actually meant to design a workplace program with a direct supervisor, or hypothetical if someone isn't in the workplace, that would be actually solving a work problem and taking all the steps, almost like a project management course to complete that. So that is our very last course in the program. We want the students to be able to feel they can autonomously work hard, independently at their own pace, and develop the skills that are necessary to be able to take them and directly apply them to their jobs. We want people to be able to practice effective teamwork. And it's not only just a diverse background that everyone comes together in a cohort model, but also kind of a diversity of thought as well. And we try to share that a lot in our discussion boards within the classroom, having topics that are contemporary and meaningful. So we also want to be able to apply succinct and appropriate reasoning for all types of assessments and activities that are related to written and oral communication. And then finally, to be able to use technology and integrate it for decision making at all levels. So, we all know today there's software for virtually every application, and we just want to be able to help everyone have enough of a background and exposure to apply that to their jobs. So as far as admissions requirements, we're looking for an AS, or Associate of Science in Business degree, with a minimum of 60 credits from a min-state 2-year institution that is following the transfer pathways. And Riverland and the collaboration agreement and relationship that we have fits that perfectly the way it was designed. And then a cumulative GPA of 2.0 or greater. So the curriculum for our Mad Biz Online program is to complete a minimum of 120 credits. So coming from the Riverland FlexPace program would be 61 credits. And then our program is, it is actually been recently reworked, if you will, so that it has a core requirement of 46 credits. And if someone needs to have, the additional 14, we work with them to get to that 120. We also have a lot of students that have come with many credits from multiple institutions, and they're meeting that 120 requirement as well. So the mode of delivery is that every course is taught online. No reason to come to a night class, a Saturday class, a day class, any class on campus, just online. We actually have a model that is a 15-week semester with a 1 week of exams, or final exam week. So our courses are 5 weeks. Sometimes we actually give an 1 week extension if we can. And so that's fairly common to match the 6 weeks from Riverland. So only one course can be offered at a time. So they are completely linear and sequential. And so once one is finished, the next begins. So right now I'm teaching a Leadership Management 484 course online. And when that finishes after this summer session, then the students could take an elective course of their own choice, either as a College of Business course or really any university course if all of their gen eds are met, the second summer session, or they're off until August 24th when fall semester starts. So we have 3 courses in the fall, 3 courses in the spring, and next year there will be 2 in the summer. There's 1 this summer. And then finally, here's my contact information. Michaela Fisher will be another person who will be certainly available going forward, and we can give you her contact information as well. I am an assistant professor in the management department within the College of Business, so I can be reached also within Morris Hall, when we return an open campus as well. So thank you, Dr. Deb.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to tell them about the application code you had on there?
Oh, yes, right. Okay, so if you go in, and we could send you our promotional brochures, that kind of thing as well. But you can just go in and do a search for MAVBiz Online. It'll take you right to our general website. And then application fee through the end of this calendar year is no charge with the code of UEE 2020.
Mhm.
That was on the last screen there. So it's UEE for University Extended Education 2020, and that'll waive the application fee for the meantime. Okay.
Yep. And you are welcome to apply there, even though you haven't finished with us yet. That just kind of gets you in their system and starts communications happening over there. So if you're sure, you're pretty sure that you want to go on to that, and you can get your application for free right now, we're recommending that you go ahead and do that, and then you can have contact with both campuses as you move through your educational goals. So I think we'll just open it up for questions if anybody has any questions. Jenny, I saw that your mic was not working, so if you have a question you want to type into the chat box, if you have any. Otherwise, we must have done really well because they don't have any questions. Oh, I need to take the AccuPlacer. How do I do that now? So they are, I will direct you, Jenny, to Juliana Salmon. Have you had contact with her yet? Because Juliana can help you with the AccuPlacer. So if you would, Jenny, if you would email me, it's deb.mcmanimon@riverland.edu, McManimon. I'll put it in the chat box so you have that. Then I'll get that to Juliana and she can direct you as to how to do that. See if I spelled my name right. Yep. It always does a wavy underline because it's spelled wrong, you know, but it's really right. There we go. Thanks, Michaela.
Oh, yes, thank you. That's good.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect is right.
All right. One other thing I should mention on the recording too is that we are limiting the cohort size to 24 students. So we typically are filling up those cohorts. So if you're interested in being part of the cohort, you just apply to Riverland like you normally would. And then you want to let Juliana, our business advisor, know that you're interested in the FlexPace program. And then they will have you do, now they're doing an employment verification electronically. So we just need to verify that you're a working adult because we're intending this program for working adults. So we're not really opening it up to traditional students. So just so that you know that. So if you're interested and you want to get a spot, I would encourage you to apply early so that we'll, hold your spot for you. And then one other thing, I don't think either of us mentioned this about registering for classes. So in both of our programs, when you're in the MAVBiz Online or you're in the FlexPace program, only students in the cohorts are allowed to register for those classes. So you don't have to worry about, oh, somebody's going to take my cohort spot if I don't, register the first day registration opens. It doesn't work like that for these programs. So once you're in the cohort, that whole series, the whole sequence of classes is going to be available to you without having to fight for registration with other students in the college. So we keep those limited to those particular students.
Right. And so I get a lot, thank you for remembering that, Dr.
Well,
Deb.
people worry about that.
There are a lot of questions a lot of times about that. So you're guaranteed a spot no matter what once you're in the program.
Right.
And so we do at times ask to go ahead and register. You can always drop the course if it doesn't work out for your schedule, but it helps us with kind of a head count, if you will, to know who will be part of the program, especially when we are starting this coming year. We will be starting a fall cohort and we'll be starting a winter cohort too. So that gives us, this will be our second and our third cohort. The starting that we had one last year is the first. So the good news there is if someone's missing a class, they could always take it through the other cohort as well if they're missing. And that gives some flexibility too, because like you said, Dr. Deb, we had one person who's having a baby right now and
Yeah.
we're going to take the summer off. So
Yeah.
makes good sense, right?
So we try to be flexible as much as we can with everything in the program, and lots of things
Exactly.
come up. But yeah, the other thing, like the first year that we did it, we only had one class of each section going for
Mhm.
anything. Well, now if you come in with multiple credits, we can try to, like I said, try to make an alternate schedule for you and fit you in if there's some spots. Because, you know, once you get through, if you come in with previous credits, you may not have to take all the classes, and then there would be your spot available in that cohort. So it's a very manual process, but we've been able to do it and allow people to get through. I had somebody start this year that came in with a lot of credits, but they were missing some of the ones that they needed for entrance into MapBiz Online, and we were able to get her through in just 1 year. Just by fitting her in a combination of regular classes and FlexPace classes, we were able to get her to be able to graduate and move on to the MapBiz Online program. So just know that we're there as advocates for you. And you know, we're going to do whatever we can to help you. We've all been in your situation, and we know it's a challenge. And so
That's
So
right.
I think that's it. I'll just go ahead and close it out then. And again, Jenny, if you want to email me, I'll get you connected to Juliana for the AccuPlacer. And I'm pretty sure they're still doing those. And so we'll get that done, and then you'll be able to get registered. Thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ritchie. Nice to meet you, Michaela. Thanks, Heather, for coming. Good to see you again, Dan. And Jenny, thank you for coming also.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
Great. We'll talk to you soon then.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
hosting, Dr. Deb.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.